everybody. Welcome to the premiere episode of That One Thing. I'm Julie Garnyé. I'm your host. I am a singer, an actress, a writer, a director, and now a host. I'm so excited to be launching this series. I'm a very curious human being. I always want to know stuff about people. And this is my way of getting to converse with people during this crazy time of COVID-19. So I'm very, very excited to give this a shot. I have also been, during this time, producing a lot of these shows. So this is my first time actually doing one, and I'm thrilled to be here. Before we get to our first guest, just a little bit of housekeeping. We are collecting funds for a very, very, very special cause that is near and dear to my heart. We are going to be collecting funds for the Actors Fund. The Actors Fund is for everyone in entertainment, not just actors. Everyone from the people on stage, the people working backstage, the people in the box office, anybody who's involved in entertainment in any way. And right now, during this time, we're all out of work. So we would really love any type of donations you can give. A large portion of it will be going to the Actors Fund. You can do that via Venmo, which is very simply my name, @Julie Garnyé, or paypal.me/Julie Garnyé. Very easy. And we're very excited that those donations will also help pay for this platform, which is how we're broadcasting to you today. So thank you very, very, very much. We're just going to get straight to our guest. I've known this person for almost 20 years. He's the first person that I met in New York City. I actually met him via email prior to coming to New York City while I was on tour with a little musical called Cats. And he is an incredible human being. I knew the instant I saw his website, and I emailed him that this was someone I had to have in my life for life. He's a host. He's a singer. He's a recording artist. He's an entrepreneur. He is basically an everyman. He does a jack of all trades, everything. He's an incredible human being. Please welcome Jim CARUSO.
Oh,
hey.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh,
I
hi.
didn't see you come in. First of all,
that book, where did you get that? I want a copy of that. What is that?
I love this book. Look, it's starting to come apart. Oh, I hate that. Makes me very happy.
Seriously, I want to tell me about it. Tell me.
It's old. That's all I know. It's old and crumbling. You can Google it. It's written by Charles Henderson and Charles Palmer, who were known as the Charles people. Yeah, it's from 1939.
Oh my gosh.
It was, yeah, that's all I know.
Okay, amazing.
Smells like poo. Yeah.
It's a little old, that's why.
Yeah, God knows where this has been.
That's like one of your favorite things. I mean, I wasn't going to talk about it. This is kind of a show. No, poo.
Not actual poo.
No, the concept of.
The topic, yes. It's funny.
Yeah, the topic is fun. Yeah, yeah.
When are we starting? Should we start soon?
Yeah, let me just kind of get things going. Does this work?
You gonna get dressed?
Are you? Oh, yay! Yes, yes.
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 Because that's how I talk.
Right. I mean, that's how we met, was through Cast Party. I was Googling Liza Minnelli, and your face popped up onto my screen. I'm not joking. That's what happened.
Wow.
And your face popped up on my screen. As it should. And I was like, what is this Cast Party? What is this thing? What is that? And the next thing I know, I'm emailing you. So yeah. So that's.
Did I get right back?
You did. You were really good about it. You are very good about that. There are people that are not, and you're on it.
Tell me, as a booker and a person who has created an entire career off of other people's talents. I'll say it. Return emails, people. That's all I'm saying.
It's a shocker, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Mm-hmm.
And it's always the people that you think will be busiest, most successful, most famous, most blah, 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 that like get back to you within seconds.
Yep.
It's crazy. Not because they have assistants, just because they're on it.
Right. Yeah. But then the not famous, not talented people, they get back to you right away.
Right. Never. Yeah.
All right. So let me talk about the premise of this show. And then we're going to.
Do I need to be here for this?
No.
Oh, you're telling me about this. I see.
Yeah. So, well, I mean, telling everyone about this. The premise of this show is that I want to know what that one thing is in your life that you're completely obsessed with, passionate about, what you think about in the morning when you first wake up. Aside from your family, of course, I want that one thing.
I was just pointing to your light bulb.
Yes.
It looks like I've had an idea.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Wait, turn the other way. Go the other way. There you go. Yeah.
That way?
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
So I'm sorry, what?
That's the premise of the show. Do you get that?
Yeah.
Great. So I'm just going to ask you, for you, what's that one thing?
Gum. What's that one thing? I guess other than, I mean, I have minor obsessions like iced coffee from Starbucks. I know, don't get on me about that's not real coffee. I hate that conversation.
I worked for Starbucks for 7 years.
I love iced coffee from Starbucks.
Okay.
It could be a blizzard I enjoy. I love dots, the candied dots in the yellow box. I love those.
Yep.
I love early Streisand albums. I love Cher. These are all kind of like minor, not minor, but lesser. But I guess the main thing that my whole life has been about has been, I mean, show business, but talented people. Even when I was a kid, I wanted to hang out with the most talented people at the community theater where I worked in Pittsburgh, or the prettiest people, or the funniest people, or the smartest people that are really good at what they do. Doesn't even need to be show business, but it usually happens to be because that's what I do. I find people at the top of their game wildly interesting.
Okay, wait. But let me ask you, when did that start? Do you know how that began for you? Like, when did you first feel like, oh, wildly talented people are who I want to be with, who I want to hang out with? Like, when?
Well, I wanted to be Donny Osmond. I wanted to be Sean Cassidy. I wanted to be one of those kids. That has not worked out yet.
Well, you have three albums out right now. Like, you're close.
Yes. I think maybe when I'm a fine singer, I'm a decent actor, I can do things, but I think when I figured out that I was not going to be a superstar at one thing, I think I started looking around me, looking for people that do have that kind of talent in my mind anyway, that made me feel like I was hanging with the right crowd, like I mean, that sounds very deep, but I wanted that. Their success fueled me, and maybe that's it. I don't know. It's cause for a shrink, I'm sure, but I think in the end it's because to me, that success, that glitter, that razzle dazzle somehow ended up brightening me a little bit.
You know, it's interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of highly successful and effective humans on Earth. Well, you're getting there. That
was such an Eric Bergen what I did. Thank you.
Yes. And take a bow. They talk about
more of this.
We've been talking about your hair since I saw you this morning. It's actually what you just did looks really good. It's got a nice little
tall.
Yeah, it's tall. I like it.
All right.
You can pat it down a little. There you go. Oh, that's no.
Fine.
I think I like how it's got the kind of ripples and waves in there. It's going. Yeah. The highly effective and successful humans on this earth, they all talk about surrounding themselves with people who are better than them. So the fact that you kind of figured that out at such a young age is so amazing.
Yeah, and I'm still trying to figure it out, because as I say it to you, I've never said it out loud, but it seems right. I think if I would have been one of those insane singers, a Billy Porter or a, name whoever we know who's just an extraordinary vocalist or something, I would have been more involved. Not that I'm not self-involved, but I think I would have been more less looking at other people for my own personal aggrandizement.
All right. Okay.
It made me feel better. Hanging with talented people made me feel like I was at a different level than perhaps I was.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, well, you were surrounding yourself with the people you wanted to be, and you felt like you were a part of that group.
Like I'm in the clique. Yeah.
You're in the clique. Yeah. Oh my God, I almost said clique, and then I didn't. I was like, who uses that word anymore? But clearly.
And it has a QUE in it, which I love.
Yeah. I love a good QUE too.
Sure.
Okay, amazing. So that for you all centered around show business, which is really your lifeblood. It's like,
yeah, there was no choice. I did other things growing up. I sold rubber stamps. That was fun.
You did?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I know both of your parents were musicians, right?
Yes. When I was born, they were hoping for a piano. So yes, they were. My dad was a band director in high schools, and my mother taught music in elementary schools. So there was always music, and there was that. So there was never any problem with me saying, I want to do this. They were thrilled, as opposed to them being like, could you do
anything else?
Anything else? Right. Right.
Yeah. Amazing.
So that was good. I always had that support.
Okay. And so then let's talk about your clear obsession, as with mine as well, is with the Osmonds, with the Osmond family.
I can't. I'm looking at pictures of me with them. I mean, it's sad. It's obsessive. And it's not new. It's been happening for a while. It started in the 70s, but now that I am smarter and have better taste, I'm even more obsessed with earlier stuff when they were the Osmond brothers on the Andy Williams shows and singing those incredible harmonies. They were and are great musicians, but man, and they were show business in the most ultimate way to my eyes. And they seemed like the kind of people I wanted to know. Just
do you remember the first time? Do you remember the first time you heard one of their songs, or maybe saw an episode of the Donnie and Marie show? Or
it wasn't even about that. It was not about their material. It wasn't about the TV show.
It was just about their family, their essence, their
the show. Plus, I was an only child. And the fact that there were like dozens of them up there, all in matching outfits, looking like they were having so much fun, and whether or not they were, I don't know, and I don't care. But it just looked like so much fun. It's like, oh God, I want to do that with my brothers. And I just liked, it was a conceptual thing, probably more than an actual obsession with literally what they were doing. Although I like that too. And they all tap dance and they all play the saxophone and like, what? Who does that?
Yeah. Amazing. Okay, great. So that was sort of like I agree with you.
And now I know them. And now Donnie's actually somebody that I can text and stuff. He's on our Christmas album, for God's sake.
No, the opening track, it's amazing. Okay, you guys, if you get a chance, you have to, it's the time, it's the season. You have to get this album.
Yeah.
It's really,
Hold on,
really.
I'll get one.
Oh, go get one. Go get one. It's called Swinging Birdland Christmas. It has Jim Caruso. Oh, I love the cover art. Who's the cover art by? It's so amazing.
Tug Rice is his name. He is brilliant, and you can follow him on Instagram.
We're going to talk about art.
Pardon me while I throw up. You can follow him on Instagram. His name is Tug Rice. He is fantastic.
Yeah, he's really remarkable. It's Christmas at Birdland. Look, with Donnie Osmond and Dave Cause, who's a friend of both of ours. Yeah.
Yeah, that's us. That's me, Billy, and Clea.
I was just going to say it features Billy Stritch, Clea Blackhurst, and that guy that you're looking at right now. It is such a great album. I mean, you're doing the show live. I should actually mention this. December 18th is when it starts, and it's going to be on events.broadwayworld.com. Is that right?
That's right. That's right. Yeah. It's part of the Radio Free Birdland series. But you can it premieres on the 18th, then it runs for 30 days. So, amazing. And it's just a crisp $20 bill, and you can see the show.
It's my birthday that day, so that's why I remember it. Yeah, so I'm very excited that I'm going to be spending my birthday doing a watch party of the show. This is
our 11th year of doing this crazy show. Wow. It's called A Swinging Birdland Christmas. Yeah, and it's so much fun.
But the album's called Christmas at Birdland.
That's right.
Okay, just want to make sure that people know what to purchase.
Yes. On Club 44 Records, as a
matter.
Club
44 Records. Yep, we love them.
We do.
They're kind of the best. Wayne Hahn and Joel Lindsay and Michelle Gayhart and all the lovely people over there.
They're unbelievably supportive. We were the first record. They're all in the music business and the recording business, but this was the first thing this arm of the label ever did together.
Right. In fact,
so we kept waiting for the other shoe to drop. We were like, when's somebody going to be an asshole, basically? Or when are we going to be disappointed? Or when is it, to this day, the nicest, kindest, hardest working, brilliantly talented people. Yeah.
And the label name, Club 44 Records, they named it after Birdland.
That's right.
And it's on 44th Street.
That's right.
So that's how you remember the name of the label.
Well, that's how we all got together. Wayne Hahn came to Cast Party several times, and I would see him and I'd say hi, and I didn't really know what he did. And we started talking one night, and I said, so Wayne, who are you? What do you do? He said, well, I live in Nashville. I'm a record producer. Good for you. Good for you. Then I went home and Googled him. Oh, well, really good for you. He has like 50 Dove Awards, which is the Christian, the gospel Grammy.
Wow.
And he was looking to get involved in the Broadway cabaret jazz scene. Well, wasn't that lucky that we all got to meet? Because now, through all of that, he has a record. He has this record. He has Billy Stritch's
Billy's
Place new CD. Linda Lavin did a CD thanks to her, Billy introducing, all of him to her. You have a cut. You have a single.
I do have a single. Yep. It's going to be an album eventually, but we just wanted to release the first thing. Yeah.
So I'm Jane Monheit. I don't know if that's been announced.
It is public. They did send out a press release, and it's known that she did sign with Club 44.
because when this was so much fun, I started talking to Wayne saying, I know people that will really sell records. I mean, Jane Monheit is a star, and I knew she was kind of sniffing around for a label, and that worked out. Oh my God.
I remember
that's like a real, somebody that'll sell some records.
I just get a little tangent. I knew that Jane Monheit was a star when she was a part of like a series of music at the Hollywood Bowl here in Los Angeles. And when I drove into Park by Car, there were like bootleggers selling like illegal T-shirts with Jane Monheit's face on it. And I was like, oh my God, like, that's like what they do for like Sting and stuff. You know what I mean? Like, but it was Jane Monheit.
Jane Monheit and Cher.
Exactly. And
Jane
I was like,
is unbelievable. Billy Stritch and I do a show with her every once in a while called Hollywoodland. Yeah. And the first time we were doing it, we were rehearsing, and I've been a fan of Jane's since she started. But then we got to know each other, and we would do stuff at Cast Party and at Birdland and things. But we had never sung together. So we were putting this tune together, and I kept looking at her, and she finally said, "What?" And I said, "You sound just like Jane Monheit," because that voice is so iconic. But you're used to it on your iPad, phone.
Things. Yeah.
Could remember what that was called. But you're not used to it being right here, like oh my God, the voice, that is one of the more perfect voices on the planet.
Yeah, it's like, and she's gonna hate that I'm gonna say this because she doesn't like when people compare voices to food, but it is like butter.
Yeah,
it's like her, like it's like one of her pet peeves. She doesn't like when people.
Creamy. It's creamy.
It's creamy and buttery. She's gonna hate all of this. She's gonna hate all of it. She's
busy. She's not watching.
She's not watching.
She has a life.
Yeah. All right. So sticking with the showbiz theme, and the way that I met you and the way that you've changed the lives of thousands of people, literally, come on now, like I'm
Dozens.
Gonna 4 is with Jim Caruso's Cast Party. I love this picture. Talk to me about, because it's so show busy what you do. And that was the focus of your life, was to be in showbiz, to,
kind of, yeah. Seems to be.
Yeah. So talk to me about, and we really never talked a lot about how did it get started? How did Cast Party really start? Because when I came to Cast Party for the first time, it was at the King Kong Room, at the Edison Hotel, or the Edison Ballroom. But I know that it had started prior to that. So give me a little.
No, it really did start there. I was doing PR for a company.
Because you do all the things.
Yeah, well, here's what happened. I quit show business. Show business was just sick about it, by the way. No, show business couldn't have cared less. So I kind of thought I need to do other things. So I worked on a talk show in Los Angeles. I worked on a talk show here in New York. And then I decided I would work for a publicist. And the publicist said, "Oh, I got this new room. Why don't you do a press release for this? Try to get something going." Okay. So I did, and there was nothing going on, but zero going on. And I was doing press releases for drink specials. It was my hell.
Wait, the King Kong Room?
Yeah. It was as far away from show business as humanly possible. So I thought, well, I'm just going to throw a party. There was a piano in the corner, a beautiful sound system, and lights, but it was like a lounge. So I thought, I'm just going to throw a Christmas party. I did. Everybody showed up. We sang around the piano until the wee hours. It was Billy Stritch at the piano, David Raleigh at the piano. Mark Hartman would take a turn, and Stephen Schwartz, and Dave Koz sat in on sax, and Amanda Green and Christopher Sieber and Max von Essen. Just fun Broadway cabaret people. Natalie Douglas. And the next day, the manager of the room called and said, "Would you do that every Monday?" I said, "No." "What? Huh?" And he said, "We've never had a better night. We sold more liquor. They had desserts too. I think we had some kind of flaming sundae or something."
Oh, okay.
He said, "We've never sold more. Why don't you try it next Monday? See if anybody shows up." I'm like, "Well, my friends aren't going to come back every week. Just try it." We did it. They came. So I thought, oh, maybe this is a thing. And I gave it a name. We called it Cast Party. And I just started with my email list that I've kept forever because of my background in cabaret. Because your mailing list is everything. And it caught on. And that's when you found us, I guess, right after that. And we were there for about a year and a half. And then the place closed. Of course it did.
Of course.
We went to 2 other places, and then we ended up at Birdland. And we've been there for 17 years.
At Birdland.
Yeah.
So in total, you've been doing Cast Party for like, what, 20 years?
No, 18 years. I guess 18 years. Yeah. Okay. Natalie always knows. Natalie always knows the exact date because she has that kind of brain. I just know it's around 17 or 18 years.
Okay. Amazing. It's incredible. And I mean, let's talk about, because it's showbiz, some of the people that have come through there, some of the people that you created, basically like their careers.
Wow.
I mean, like you did. You did. And they will.
I concocted these human beings. I'm the Frankenstein of show business. Please, somebody say that. Again, I've always had this group of friends around me that are, to me, the most talented, the funniest, the blah, blah, blah. So those people would start showing up. And I started producing a concert series that would happen before Cast Party, all the way back then at the King Kong Room. So I was having Julia Murney and Billy and Natalie and everybody that we knew, Karen Mason, and people that wanted to do concerts. They would do that, and then everybody would stick around for Cast Party. It seemed like a good idea. But Cast Party started really, it all goes back to Liza Minnelli, because I had worked with her for many, many years, and we've been friends, and she'd thrown these parties around her piano on every Saturday night. And it would be Barbra Streisand and Rosie O'Donnell and Ann Miller and George Hamilton and Janet Jackson and that kind of thing. So I know that, I know the energy of that and how much I love it. So to have her be part of this from the very beginning was huge, because when she showed up, then would be in the paper the next day, would be in Page 6 or all the gay rags. And there wasn't so much online stuff at that point. Was there even online?
Well, it was email. I remember because I was
it was email, but it wasn't.
But there was Google. Was it Bing or it was some Microsoft version of
there was, but it wasn't like Playbill.com and Broadway World.
There was none of that.
I don't think those were happening, but we started getting great press because of Liza, and she would bring in Fred Ebb and Ellen Green, and again all the Broadway kids of the time, Max von Essen and Chris Sieber, and who else was coming in. Then it started to get really starry, and I remember Helen Reddy came in, and Stephen Schwartz, and Neil Patrick Harris.
I think Hal Prince came, the Prince family.
Yeah,
The whole family came up.
Well, Daisy Prince was definitely a big fan, and she would bring in her slew of just obnoxiously talented friends.
Yeah.
So yeah, it really became. It was more of a party then. It was less of a show, but it was kind of a see and be seen thing. Did you see who was there last night? And it was really kind of you hear about when Betty Comden, thank you, Billy. Esther Williams, thank you, Billy. Miranda Sings, thank you, Eileen.
Oh yeah, we're gonna get to Miranda Sings in a second, but yeah.
Look at all these people.
Oh wow, look. Hi, Eileen. Hi, Billy.
Hi, Eileen.
Hi, Diane. Hi, Ruby. Ruby.
Ruby. Where would we be without Ruby?
John McDaniel.
Oh, John McDaniel would come.
He's going to be a guest on the show. I'm excited to have him.
Great. Anyway, it became a thing, and I am not one to let a thing go by. If I smell any kind of possibility of success, as someone who had been kind of kicking around a long time, getting to the middle of the crappy portion of the showbiz ladder, it was like, oh, maybe this is my thing. And indeed, it kind of became my thing. Thanks to the great talent that would show up. Certainly Birdland, finally. We got to Birdland with an owner who really understood that if you do a show every Monday, it's going to be every Monday. If you have the flu, it takes place. If you have an audition the next day, it takes place. And he said to me in reverse, I'm going to have a lot of jazz performers that are in town and they want a one-nighter. I'm not going to give them Mondays. This night is all about Cast Party, period. And
it's just a testament to Johnny Valenti and how he runs that room. And
yeah, I mean, the regularity of it all, plus the extraordinary talent, plus my desperate attempt and need for some kind of being a part of the scene has helped make it a thing.
Yeah.
The end.
Thanks, everybody. Good night. No, that's your line, actually. Okay, I want to, as far as show business is concerned, I want to talk about one more thing, and then we're going to get to segment 2 of the show, which is a whole other thing.
Okay.
I want to talk about because this is also very show busy. I want to talk about your longest relationship. In my estimation, what in your life is your longest relationship, which is with Billy Stritch.
Oh, that's nice. Okay. Oh, look how attractive we are.
No, you guys look so good, and the lighting is excellent.
That's Bill Westmoreland.
No, he's the
greatest photographer. I mean, we know a lot of great photographers, actually, but Bill is certainly. I mean, I've been working with Bill forever, but that's a great picture of me and Billy.
Yeah, I love that photo. So you guys met in Texas when you were living in Dallas.
Yes.
We do need to actually go just back a little bit further, which is your mom and the whole the is that real? Is that real? It's real? Okay, you guys. Jim had a show with his mother.
Don't ruin the punchline.
I'm not gonna. You need to tell the story because I can't believe it's real. Like, I have to tell this so many times.
I know. I have, and it still makes me laugh. I'll say it really fast. I decided I needed to sing in clubs because I wasn't getting work in the theater. I was getting work, but it was always like way back in the look at the ensemble guy over there that's too skinny with too much makeup on. I knew I wanted to do more than that. So I decided I'm going to do a show. I'm going to have a cabaret act in Dallas.
You and your mom had left Pittsburgh and gone to Dallas.
Yes, we were living in Dallas. She had remarried and we lived in Dallas. So I had seen some of these cabaret stars. I shouldn't do that. They are cabaret stars in Dallas. mostly women, Samantha Samuels, Ruth Hastings, these creatures that were completely concocted and had these extraordinary voices and were singing Edith Piaf songs. And I didn't even get it. A lot of Jacques Brel, because it was it the 80s? It might have been the late 70s. Because I'm 100. Julie says, I'm a hologram. I'm not even me. So I thought maybe I could do that. And maybe that's my way into show business. So my mother played great piano. And I said, what if we did a show? She rolled her eyes and said, okay. And I bought a tuxedo with a plaid bow tie. Aww. And I told her I needed my own microphone and sound system. So we did that. I was like 19 or 20. And we put an act together and we got a gig. So the act was called Son of a Bitch.
Okay.
And we played Stefano's Seafood Restaurant on Mockingbird Lane in Dallas, Texas.
Is it still there?
Happy Hours, which was not happy because she could only play ballads, and it was.
I just still can't believe you guys called yourselves Son of a Bitch.
It was grim, and it was like a 19-year-old boy singing "Hymn to Love," Edith Piaf songs with his mother. Just a barrel of laughs. So at some point I had to fire my mother, and I went through many, many incarnations of different acts. And Billy Stritch and I both moved to New York at the same time.
How did you guys find each other? That's what I wanted.
We met in Dallas. I was singing in a club. Oh God, Billy is tuning. He's turning this off now because he's heard this so many times. I was performing in a club with a duo called CARUSO and Weber, where we sang Donnie and Marie medleys. And because why wouldn't we?
Of course.
And the owner came over and said, there's a trio from Houston in town. They would perhaps like to work here. Would you mind if they did a few numbers? And I was like, oh, good for them. Sure, let them we'll give them a number. Thinking we were very grand and how giving it was of us to give them a few minutes of our. So they got up. Montgomery, Plant, and Stritch got up, and they sang like one note in these crazy tight harmonies. And I looked at my piano player, and he looked at me, and we were like, "Oh God, what have we done?" It was like us doing our little harmonies and then bringing the Manhattan Transfer onto the stage. It was slightly mortifying. And so they did two numbers. The people were like, more.
No. Oh my God.
And I thought, well, I either have to really know them or have them killed. So Billy and I talked the whole rest of the night. He had a cigarette case. I thought that was very swanky. Yeah. And that was the beginning of this very long running friendship.
Yeah. And he came along with you when you did Cast Party, and he's been a part of all of your gigs, Liza, and
yes, he joined me with Liza. No, I actually joined him with Liza.
You met Liza through him, right?
Yes. I mean, I met her a day later, but it was
okay.
If you're asking, yes, it was certainly Billy first. And then he started working with her, and which meant that he brought her around to all of our shows, and that was the beginning of
you were with
really our New York lives.
You had a group called Wise Guys, right? At that point.
I did. What's he saying? Yes. It was very giving of me.
Yeah, it was very kind.
Yes, I had a trio called Wise Guys, which is basically what brought me to New York, because we were working in New York quite a bit. We were working out of New York, like cruises that would leave from here, and opening act for Cheetah and Phyllis Diller and Joan Rivers. And I'd always wanted to live here. I mean, always. But I never really wanted to just move here and cross my fingers that something would happen. But Wise Guys seemed like the perfect reason to come here. So we moved here.
Amazing.
And Billy moved here at the same time. His group broke up, my group broke up, and eventually we somehow, what year was it? 1990? I think we did our first show together, which was kind of just a lark. And it ended up being really fun and successful. And we, cut to now.
Yeah. Okay. I want to talk a little bit more about now. And then I also want to move on to segment 2, because we're already been talking for 40 minutes, which I cannot believe, but
I am so fascinating.
You are. Okay. So now with the pandemic and what's been going on for the last 8 months.
Now what?
Yeah, I know. It's this thing that's been happening. I don't know.
I need to turn on the news.
You've had this Monday night thing every Monday night for 17 years. And then all of a sudden there are no Monday nights. There's no live music happening. So you pivoted and moved your Monday night show to the interwebs, which is now called Pajama Cast Party. It's once again, it's an amazing show. And every week you have 5 to 8 performers or people coming on and saying interesting things. And I'm just completely floored that it's still going on. It's incredible. So if anybody wants to watch it, it's on. This is the other thing. You created a network on YouTube during COVID. You created a net. You own a network. It
sounds very grand. It's basically, we just renamed my YouTube page, but we call it the Cast Party Network because
you're like Oprah.
Huh?
You're like Oprah.
I am. Many people have said that over the years.
It's amazing to me how much like Oprah you are.
You're welcome, America.
No, so,
listen, I was very depressed, just like everybody else, about what was going on. This was like 3 weeks into the pandemic. And, I was thinking, oh my God, how am I going to go a whole month without working? So one night I got on Instagram Live and I was just talking to people, and that's such a fun thing. I wasn't really hip to the Instagram Live thing where you can be on camera and all of a sudden, oh, now my friend is on camera too. And so I was talking to somebody and I said, sing for me. So somebody sang. And then another friend who's a brilliant juggler, Marcus Monroe, came on. He was like, hey, what are you doing? I was like, oh, come on and juggle. So he was juggling. And all of a sudden we had 300 viewers watching what was essentially a variety show on Instagram.
I was there that night. I sang for you that night.
Yeah. I went to bed feeling so much better about about life for some reason, because I thought, I felt like me again. It felt like I had just hosted Cast Party. So the next day, Ruby Lochner, who I've known since she's 6 years old, she's now 7. She's like an adult now. She said, you should do Cast Party on YouTube. And I know how to do that. And I said, this sounds hard. She's like, I really know how to do this. Like, okay, well, let's do one Monday. Kind of put the ball in her court. Although I asked some friends to do it, whatever it was. We did it. We had like 11 guests. It went on for like 1,000 hours, way too long.
3 hours, yeah.
So fun. I mean, honestly, fun. And a great pick-me-up for me, certainly, but I think for everybody involved, because this was the beginning. This was like a month into the pandemic. So people were low and honestly depressed and sad and not knowing. It's interesting, if you sell shoes for a living and you stop selling shoes, you don't stop being you.
Yeah.
But if you're in show business and you stop being in shows, you're not all the way sure who you are sometimes. Yep.
There's a little piece of you that's missing. It's hard to explain to what I call the muggles, the people who are not in show business.
The what?
Muggles.
I see.
Like from Harry Potter, like the regular humans who don't have magical powers.
Right. Well, it's hard to explain, and it sounds crazy, and maybe it is crazy, but we don't all the way feel like ourselves. And but after that, it was like, this is the thing, and Ruby made it so seamless, and it was like the Ed Sullivan Show. It was slick, and it moved great. It was long, but it was really fun. So we've done it 33 weeks in a row. This next one will be our 33rd week. We took a week off for the election because that was of interest, and it's just been a complete joy.
Amazing. I couldn't agree with you more. I mean, it's it's the reason that I got to do my single and now my album with Club 44 Records, because I sang on Cast Party and they saw me on Cast Party. It's, again, even online, you're changing people's lives. It's
people have gotten gigs from doing an online variety show. That is crazy to me. Not me, but other people.
Yeah. Okay, so we're going to go to segment 2.
Oh, thank God.
I know, because this has been so long. I didn't know when you were going to stop talking. It was really driving me nuts.
Oh God, am I one of those guests?
No, of course not.
Oh no, but I've had those guests. You guys, when you're a guest on a talk show, take a breath. At some point.
Yeah, no, you're not that guest though. Everything you say to me is fascinating, so I'm like, please keep. Okay. But so segment 2 of this show is always weekly going to be, or bi-weekly, going to be bi-monthly. Why do I keep saying bi-weekly? That means I'm doing the show twice. I'm not doing the show twice a week. So it's going to be about what I'm obsessed about you. Like that one thing that I love about you. Okay. Yeah. Here it is what it is.
Dental hygiene.
Yes. How did you know? No, for me, it's about your head to toe charm and taste level. It's off the charts. Off the charts. First of all, the Billy Stritch. This will be a short one, I promise.
I almost texted him right after he posted that. A big LOL. And I thought that would look rude. Like me, like, you're talking about me, and I'm like, hold on.
Oh, yeah. So I want to talk to you just very quickly, because we don't have a lot of time. I want to talk to you about, like, for example, your fashion sense.
Wow.
I think this was taken by Matt Baker.
Yeah, it was.
Another incredible, not only jazz,
do this. But we'll do a screenshot of that later. It'll be good.
Yeah. Hold on, wait, do it again. Okay, that's good. We'll do that later. So there's that. Just, when I met you, I'd never heard of someone who was into Hermes and Louis Vuitton. And I learned so much from you just about fashion and about icons. And I'm just completely blown away by your sense of taste. Number one, for those of you that don't know, and I'm gonna spill some beans here. I don't even know if you still have it, but there was a point where in your kitchen of your apartment, the floor was what? It was carpeted.
Oh yeah, in leopard.
In leopard, you guys.
Well, first of all, to carpet your kitchen, you got to know that somebody doesn't cook. So there is that. But yeah, that was years ago. I did have leopard carpeting.
I walked in for the first time and I was like,
subtle.
This is
good taste is timeless. Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Time is tasteless.
It's amazing. So there's that. So I want to talk to you about that. And then also want to talk to you about your charm, because that is the reason, I think this is the reason why, and I'm talking to you about you like you're dead or something. But it's like an obituary.
I'm nodding like, yeah.
Yes, I am charming.
Let's talk about it.
But I mean, Cast Party is what it is because you set the tone. You set the tone with your charm and your ability to everyone just loves you from the moment you get on that stage. And you start the show. Now, here's the thing I've really missed during pandemic, because you don't do it on Pajama Cast Party. You only do it when you're doing the show live. You start the show with a series of phrases, which I was trying to find online yesterday. I couldn't find it. I'm sure it's there somewhere. Could you please just quickly for the people?
Oh my God.
Do you think you could do it now? Because it's been months.
It's been 8 months. Billy.
Also, you got to do the tag at the end. And I know Billy usually plays chords.
Billy does. Yes. Billy does an opening number with he'll sing with the band with Daniel Glass and Steve Doyle, our Cast Party Symphony Orchestra.
Yeah, Daniel plays drums and Steve Doyle plays the bass.
That's correct. Then they introduce me, and I run on stage like it's show business,
right?
And we sing an opening number, usually a duet, and then I introduce the band, and I welcome the audience, and I explain what Cast Party is, and I say something to the effect of, Cast Party is an open mic night / variety show for the Broadway, jazz, cabaret, pop, folk, rock, didgeridoo, klezmer, zydeco, tap, jazz, ballet, hula, ventriloquial communities. Everybody claps, and I say, you're very lucky people tonight, because on this stage, you will meet some of the most talented people in the world. Also other people.
I have to say, though, I still laugh. Every single time you've done it, I
listen to the silence.
I know, it's deafening.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I just, it also transfers onto anything you sing, which includes your special material, which I'm really obsessed with. Your definition of tone deaf, that definition, but the interpretation of tone deaf that you do, actually, when I first saw Miranda Sings, who you actually encouraged to do her stuff live for the first time. She did her first show at Birdland through you, and now she's got this
she's a millionaire,
catastrophic career. But it all started with you. You saw her and you were like, "Oh, you need to do this live in front of people." You started that. You started that with Miranda Sings. She only had a YouTube presence at that point, but you, in my opinion, were like the first Miranda Sings. Tone deaf is.
Well, let me tell you, I came by that honestly because my mother, when I would have a cold or not feel good or be in a bad mood, my mother would sit at the piano. We had a beautiful grand piano in the living room, and she would play Indian Love Call with the loud pedal on and sing a half-tone sharp. Well, there's nothing funnier than that. So I learned that singing out of tune is funny.
Yeah.
At age 0, because she would do that, and she and my dad also did like their cocktail party trick, because he played clarinet and sang. They would do duets together and sing out of tune, and then each arrangement would have a whistling duet.
Oh,
so people that didn't really know them well would be like, and looking at each other like, are we supposed to laugh? Because they did it completely straight-faced. I mean, this is what I come from. So, I don't know what to tell you. I come by it very honestly. Singing out of tune comes honestly.
I mean, so what was that name of that pair that also used to do that?
Joe Stafford. It was Joe Stafford, the great jazz singer. Billy will type it in a minute.
Yeah, they have like a Bumblebee song or like.
Oh God, it's
that Bumblebee song
blew out of my head. Yes,
for me, and I
albums. Be My Little Baby Bumblebee.
Yes,
buzz, buzz, buzz.
Yeah, Yes, that. Okay, Billy, what is that? Are you still here with us? Because that's
he left hours ago.
Right.
Eileen will know.
Here we go.
Jonathan and Darlene.
That's
Thank
it.
you, John McTee.
Thanks, John McDaniel. Thank you so much. Jonathan and Darlene Edwards. Yes. Oh, so good. I mean, even something like, and by the way, you can find these songs on on Jim's other albums.
Let me get that. No, I'm kidding.
A song for my friends.
That's nice.
Yeah, you guys, it's so charming and it's so moving, this song. If you listen to one song that Jim has recorded today, please go listen to A Song for My Friends. It is my number one favorite. Absolutely my number one favorite song that you do.
Thought. Beautiful message.
Yeah, it's really, it's so good. So those are the things that I'm obsessed with about you. Your fashion sense, really quick, before we move on to the very last moment of the show. Where did that come from?
Oh, I know exactly where that came from. If I showed you, I'm looking at a photograph of my father. If I showed you my dad, who, by the way, died when I was in second grade. So this is a person I barely knew.
Yeah.
But I think it came for him. He was first generation Italian. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The first generation to
be in America
in this country.
Yeah.
To be an Italian at that point in time and earlier was it was dicey. You were not considered what you call your upper crust. And his clothes reflected the fact that he wanted to make his family proud. So when I say his collars and his ties were perfect, they're like glaringly white. The shirts, the ties are so perfect. And he was a bit obsessed with that. I think it's because of that, because he wanted to make everybody proud. I mean, the Carusos were fruit salesmen. They had fruit stands and stuff.
In Italy?
Yeah. And then a grocery store when they moved to this country. So it wasn't like, this wasn't Daughters of the American Revolution people. This is real working class, digging in dirt and stuff, like I do.
Right.
So I think his came from that. My mother was always very stylish just because she was. So I grew up around people that cared about that. Mm-hmm. I just took it to a whole other obsession.
Yeah.
I love it. And it makes me feel uplifted. I don't think I do it for anybody else. I don't feel like I do it to show off. Maybe I do, but I honestly don't think I don't. I feel like when I put something on that I love, I feel taller, I feel better. And I honestly think it's a self love, Oprah, hello, thing that I do to make myself feel better.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you're always put together so beautifully. It's without a doubt. Yeah. Even in a sweatshirt, I mean, like, you designed that sweatshirt and there you go.
See, now that is.
What did you just do?
I threw a gang sign. I did it.
Oh my God. Okay. Last moment of this show, because we are approaching 1 hour of talking to you and I can't talk to you anymore. I am going to be doing some rapid fire questions. These are very similar to like what James Lipton did with the Actors Studio, what Brené Brown does.
I get you confused. I always think of you when I see him.
Yeah, really? So I'm just going to zip through these really fast. Just first thing that comes to your head.
I have to lubricate my lips for this. Okay.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. That one thing that makes you feel good about yourself.
Cashmere.
that
wasn't gay at all.
That one weird quirk.
Happy coming out day, everybody.
Is that gay?
No. Oh. It is now.
part 2. That one weird quirk that you think you have that no one else does.
Oh, wow. Oh, I do know. I'm ridiculously organized, and every week I order bottles of water. Sue me. I don't smoke. I don't drive a car. I like bottles of plastic water. I'm so sorry. Plastic bottles of water.
Okay.
But they are lined up in my refrigerator with the labels facing out.
Oh my God, I love it. You are very neat. You are a very neat person.
And again, nobody sees that but me. It gives me a little woohoo when I see it. Billy Stritch is laughing and perhaps gagging.
That one favorite color and why?
Oh, I love orange. I do. It makes me happy. I always have, even back in the 70s when everything was literally orange. I begged my mother to get orange leather chairs for around our family room table. She did. I love bright, almost tangerine orange.
Okay.
I don't wear it so much, but I do like it.
You wear it as an accent color.
Yeah, because
usually when you have blue or gray on, you'll pop some orange in there somewhere.
I like some orange.
There. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yep. Oh. Yeah. People know to give me orange things, but don't. I don't want a bunch of orange shit in my apartment.
Everyone send orange things to New York City for Jim. That one favorite fast food and why?
What's the oh my God. Eric knows if he's watching. It's the Mexican food that they do really fast.
That they do really fast? Guacamole?
It's the restaurant. The chain. Hello.
Taco Bell?
I'm sorry.
Taco Bell?
No, gross. No. And they do the salad and they
chin chin, the Chinese chicken salad, a chin chin.
That's not Mexican.
Oh, Mexican food. Mexican food.
It's everywhere. It's on every corner. What the hell?
Billy Stritch, what's his favorite fast food? This is insane.
I don't even know if Billy knows, but Eric
I'm confused.
Chipotle. Thank you.
Chipotle. Chipotle is Mexican. Yeah, you love Chipotle. What? I've never been to Chipotle with you. Are you serious?
I like it.
Did not know that.
That's And it's honestly so fast. If you get in there when there's no line, you're literally out before you went in.
Yeah, that's true.
It's like a time travel thing.
Yep, and you're done. Favorite
back in time. I'm sorry?
Favorite fruit?
Oh, I have such a good answer that I'm not going to say. Don't worry, and I know you're watching. I like a peach.
Okay. Hard or very ripe and juicy? The peach.
Right. Juicy. Who likes a hard, dry peach?
All right. What's that one thing you do when you have to be brave?
Oh, I say to myself, who do you want to be in this situation?
I love that.
I've done some things in my life that I didn't care to do. And what got me through the biggest one was, who do you want to be? Who are you in this, in like your movie of it all? What's this character? And I hate to sound, again, so creepy showbizy, but if you can kind of put it in your head who you hope to be, then that's kind of, you can make that happen.
Amazing. Okay, I've got 2 more questions for you. That's it, and then we're done. And then you can like go about your day.
All the busy things I have to do. All the many parties.
The parties that you have to attend. It's a Saturday. You've got to go put that tuxedo on. What's that one show that you could watch every single day over and over again? It could be a movie too. It could be either.
Oh wait, what's the one film?
Film or TV show that you could watch every single day.
Film is Funny Face, or Funny Girl. Any of the funnies.
The funnies.
TV is, I mean, Mary Tyler Moore.
Oh,
Carol.
Yeah, Carol Burnett. The Carol Burnett Show.
No, Carol Lipschitz. Of course, Carol Burnett.
I mean, people might be watching somewhere where they don't know who Carol Burnett is.
The Carol Burnett Show, CBS, Television City.
What is that one thing that people often get wrong about you?
That I'm a male model.
Well, we already know you're a hand model.
That's right.
It's a really
elderly. Like, what do they get wrong? Oh, I think people think I'm more of a snob than I am.
Huh. Okay. You're not as approachable?
Oh, I don't know if it goes that far.
Just a snob.
No, why would I be unapproachable? But no, I think people think I am very fancy. Billy knows we can stay at the shittiest hotel, motel when we're on the road. I'm in heaven. I'm not like, I mean, I love a good hotel, don't get me wrong. And I really appreciate the finest things and all that stuff. But I don't always need that.
Okay.
You know, restaurants, fancy restaurants, and I don't care.
Yeah.
I like it, but I don't care.
Amazing. Well, my friend, I cannot thank you enough for being here and being my very first guest. You changed
part 3, part 4.
Part 3 is done. You just answered all the questions. You're finished. Okay. You are done. You can go back to your leopard print kitchen and drink your organized bottled water. And
that it is.
But I can't thank you enough for being my very first guest. You really did change my life. Yeah, this was
we'll look back on this someday and say,
why is that still on YouTube?
What happened to that? Right. No, you'll do it. You'll have fun.
Yeah. Well, thank you. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being my very first guest.
Thanks for axing.
You're welcome, my friend. All right. I'm going to pop you out. Give me 1 second. I've got a couple little businessy things to do, and then I want to talk to you in our little virtual green room. Okay. Everyone say goodbye to Jim. Bye, Jim.
Bye, Jim.
You guys, thank you. So he's still waving, by the way. I can see him. And he's still waving, although no one can see it but me. You guys, thank you so much for joining us. Once again, if you would like to support the Actors Fund and support this show, please any donation, too big or too small. He's literally doing this now, you guys, which is another signature Jim CARUSO thing, is to wave his hand right in your face. He's doing it into the camera. If you'd like to support the Actors Fund and also support this show, please make a donation. No donation is too big or too small. You can do it on Venmo at Julie Garnyé or paypal.me/Julie Garnyé. And I'm really looking forward to bringing you this series every single week. I'm going to be doing solo shows in between the times that I have guests. So you'll never know if I'm going to be doing a solo show or if I'm going to be doing a show with an artist. Or just so you know too, it's not just Broadway themed. Everyone that I have on this show is going to be in some other walks of life. We've got people here who are coming on that are musical directors and food bloggers. I've got someone coming on who actually runs the school in a penitentiary. We've just got a lot of different people from all walks of life, and I can't wait to hear more about why they do what they do and why they are who they are. So thank you again for being here for that one thing. I look forward to doing this more and more, and I appreciate you being here. Thanks so much. Until next time. Bye.